If you've got a man cave like I do, maybe you want to bring your motorcycles in and display them. This is a great way to free up some extra garage space and also keep your motorcycles clean and warm. I bring these in through a normal entry door for a human. It's just a single opening. It requires you to wiggle the handlebars back and forth a little bit to get through the doorway. And if you have bar end mirrors on both sides, that might be a problem for you. But I added these down here to free up some garage space, and because they kind of look cool sitting in the house. Are there any negatives? Well, there's a couple. First of all, you're going to be concerned about your carpeting. You want to make sure that if it's a dark colored carpet, it's not that bad, but wheeling them in and out, depending on the surface outside, you might make tire marks on your carpeting. You're not going to want light colored carpet for doing this. You might have to lay plastic or some other material down to get them in and out. There is, of course, concern about fluid leakage, and I've solved that by making these handy little platforms that sit underneath them. And this was very inexpensive and very easy to do. Let me show you these up close. So I went to the hardware store and I got myself a sheet of good old-fashioned American plywood. Brought it home, cut it to length, cut it to width so that the center stands would be adequately supported. And then I topped it off with some leftover linoleum we had from a kitchen remodel. Most of the time when you put these linoleum floors down, the contractors will leave the excess with you. And I had plenty, still do, to make several of these to catch any drips and spills and so forth from the motorcycles themselves. And of course, this being a royal oil field, you're going to have a few spots of oil from the engine or the primary or the transmission. But it's not a problem. It drips on linoleum, you give it a little wipe, and you're done. Brilliant. Another consideration is when you come back from riding one of these things, you probably don't want to bring it in the house right away. They do emit some smells and odors that probably aren't going to make your spouse happy. The exhaust, combustion smells kind of linger for a while, particularly on my Enfield. I can smell that thing after I've ridden it for probably an hour or two. It just, I leave these outside and kind of air out for a little while. Be sure to turn the fuel off before you bring it in. You might have a disconnect of a battery if you're going to leave it in here for a long time, but it's usually not an issue. But once you do that, it's just another piece of beautiful furniture that you can enjoy while you sit in your recliner, glance over while you're watching TV, and even on a wintry day or when there's a hurricane blowing outside, you still get to enjoy your bikes. So get yourself some plywood, stop by your local flooring place, get some seconds if you don't have any, linoleum laying around, a little contact cement, and voila. You got yourself motorcycles in a man cave. Thanks for watching.